Hello everybody, this is my first video for Caesar, Conquest of Gaul, played using some of the simplified GBoH rules. And this is the Battle of Paris, Lutetia. So first of all I would like to introduce you to the main players. Here we have the 7th Legion under Quintus Tullius. Here we have the 9th Legion under Lucius Julius, plus auxiliaries and cavalry under the legate Licinius. And then we have here the 12th Legion under Labienus. So these would be the Roman players. And here we have their Gaulish enemies. Here we have the Gaulish cavalry. And here a long line of foot soldiers from the Parisi tribe, the Aulerci tribe, and the Senones tribe, and they have 3 chieftains with them. One of them is the overall commander, Camulogenus, and then we have 2 smaller tribe leaders, Homeros, who is the chief of the Parisii, and Cavarinus, who is the chief of the Senones tribe. Now, this battle wasn't really fought on the island, that is the Ile de la Cité in Paris today, but it was fought a little bit upstream on the river Seine. Now, as I said, I'm going to play this using the simple GBoH rules, and we will see how that goes. I've played this scenario already once using the simplified rules, and I think I've kind of understood how it works, but we'll see. What I am a bit unsure about, or well, not unsure about, but what I'm not really happy with is the activation rules. How do you activate which group goes next? So basically, when you start off, you roll a die. That's the die for the Romans. They roll a 7, and the Gauls roll a 6. So the Romans go first. No discussion. But then, once the first activation round is over, who gets to go next? Now, those of you who know Infidel, or the Man of Iron series, I believe it's the same for all 3 titles. The way this works is you have leaders, and they have, and I hope that this time you can actually see the information on the counters. They have an activation, or they have an activation rating. So when you want to activate one of these leaders and their formation, what you do is you have to roll a die, and you have to roll under or equal to that leader's activation rating. And as you progress, let's say the Roman player who gets to go first at this stage sends this legion up here into the fray. Then he wants to go again, so he can roll again, but this time he needs to activate a different formation, and so on and so forth. And every time he tries to, on his turn, activate another of his formations, he needs to subtract 1 from his die roll. And he always needs to roll under the activation rating of this particular leader that he wants to activate. So this is how it works in Infidel. And I actually like this quite a lot, because while you're trying to activate one formation after the other in your turn, the opposite player can seize command by saying, I'm going to try and seize command, I'm going to choose one of my leaders, I'm going to try and roll under his activation rating, and if I succeed, then I seize control. Now, seizure of control also exists in the simplified GBoH rules, and it says that you only have a certain number of attempts, which is supposed to be somewhere in the booklet, which unfortunately I couldn't find, so I must have missed it. I don't know, but anyway, what I've decided to do is I have decided to use the activation rules from Infidel. Now, those of you who are purists will probably go, oh, how can she do this? This is not okay. She should be sticking to the rules. Yeah, I like rules. I like understanding them. I like following them. But most of all, I like having fun with my game. And I like having a game that I can concentrate on without having to, you know, spend too much time trying to remember rules that may or may not be that clear. And like I said, these ones I find a little bit unclear. And I did look at the Board Game Geek information and I didn't find anything that helped me with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Infidel activation rules. So the Romans get to go first. The battlefield is set. Here you can see the River Seine, which was called the Sequana River. Here you have marshy terrain. Here you have a couple of woods, but they don't play any role really because the terrain is completely level, or as far as we know, and this is also a very, very simple scenario. And if you use the simple GBoH rules, it should play in under an hour. The Gauls are ferocious. Ferocious means that each tribe, this is something to do with what happens if they're out of command. Units in a tribe with ferocity may move adjacent to an enemy unit even if it's out of command. Usually, if you're out of command, you're not allowed to move to move adjacent to an opponent. And you add 1 to the shock DR whenever you attack. Each time a unit in the tribe routs, the Gallic player checks to see if ferocity is lost. Roll a die and compare the result to the tribal chief's printed initiative rating. If greater, that tribe immediately loses its ferocity for the remainder of the game. Okay, so we'll have to remember this one. Okay, now I get to go first, and I choose to send forward and one more thing. The auxiliary troops, and in this case the auxiliary troops are the archers and slingers, skirmishers for the Roman side, and the cavalry here for the Gauls. They don't have a commander and they can never be out of command. Okay, so let's see how the Romans do.